everybody. Welcome you all. This class is all about an introduction to paper 2 Sociology for IS examination. The title of paper 2 Sociology for Indian Civil Service written examination is Indian Society, Structure and Change. So, what do you mean by Indian society? You see, our society is India. India is big in size and great in synthesis. It's a multi-religious, multi-linguistic, multicultural, multi-racial, multi-caste, multi-tribal cultural landscape. India is in fact the cradle of human race and the birthplace of human species. It is the mother of history, the grandmother of legend and the great grandmother of tradition. This is the greatness of our glorified India. This is our society, that is Indian society. Then what is structure and what is change? Listen, structure refers to the stable, comparatively stable, static aspect of social life. Comparatively stable and static aspect of social life. So, what are the important structures of Indian society? First is joint family, second is caste system, third is agriculture as the backbone of our economy, fourth one that is patriarchy, fifth one higher religious orientation. So while we think about structure of Indian society, we basically think about the static, comparatively static and stable aspect of our society. Then second aspect is change. What do we mean by change? Change means any alteration, any modification within a society. You see, what was Indian society 200 years ago or 300 years ago, same is not the condition of our society at present. Many alteration, many modification have taken place in our society. For example, in today's India, caste system is weakening. In today's India, patriarchy means the dominance of male members over female member, that is also reducing. Then what is happening? The impact of religion is also weakening. Apart from that, different changes are taking place in our practice of agriculture. Changes are taking place in our family system. Changes are taking place even in the status and the conditions of scheduled caste people and scheduled tribe people. So while we discuss this dynamic aspect of our social life, then we basically refer to the change of Indian society. So this is the meaning of the title of paper 2, that is Indian Society, Structure and Change. I will be telling you the fact that this paper 2 of Sociology for UPSC Civil Service Examination consists of 3 broad units. And what are the 3 broad units? First unit is introducing Indian society. Then second is social structure in India. Third unit is social change in India. So in this way, paper 2 consists of 3 broad units, and each units have been divided also into many sub-units. For example, introducing Indian society, first unit is divided into 2 sub-units like perspective and study of Indian society, and second one is impact of colonial rule on Indian society. Then second broad unit, that is social structure, is divided into 6 subunits. Then third unit, that is social change in India, is divided into 7 broad units. So in this way, there are many subdivisions within the broad units that I will discuss. So first you come to the first unit, that is introducing Indian society. How you will introduce the society that you have been born in. An introduction to Indian society I have already given. So here basically there is a subunit, that is perspective on study of Indian society. Perspective means a way of looking at the society. You see, all sociologists in India don't look at India exactly in the same eye. Rather, different sociologists view about Indian society in different ways, and I will discuss later in detail. There are 3 important ways by which Indian society can be studied. First is Indological perspective. Indological perspective means studying Indian society through the books of ancient Indian history as well as through the scriptures of Hinduism. Second is structural functional perspective. Structural functional perspective means studying Indian society by going to the field, conducting experiment related to life in India on the basis of field study. That Professor M.N. Srinivas has adopted that approach for studying Indian society. Indological approach, that approach has been adopted by Professor Gobind Sadasiv Ghure. Means Gobind Sadasiv Ghure is trying to study Indian society in terms of the views given in the books of ancient Indian history as well as the scriptures of Hinduism. Then the third perspective on study of Indian society is your conflict perspective. Conflict perspective means, obviously, that approach has been adopted by Professor A.R. Desai, and that approach basically highlights the negative contributions of different elements existing in India. Subsequently, I will make a detailed discussion related to all these perspectives. Then second subunit of unit 1 is impact of colonial rule. Colonial rule means British rule. You know, once upon a time, Britishers were ruling our society. During British regime, lots of transformations or changes took place in our society. For example, Britishers laid the foundation of modern Indian education system. During British regime, the foundation of modern industry was also laid. During British regime, different types of socio-religious reform movements took place in our country, like Brahmo Samaj, Arya Samaj, Prarthana Samaj, Theosophical Society, Rehnumai Mazdiya San, Ahmadiyya movement, Aligarh Muslim movement, Wahhabi movement, Deoband movement. So in this way, during British regime, lots of changes, both in positive, having positive consequences as well as negative consequences for our society, that also took place. So that is the impact of colonial rule. So in context of unit A, I will be teaching you these 2 subunits. First one is perspective on study of Indian society, and second one is impact of colonial rule on Indian society. Then you come to second unit, that is social structure. As I told you earlier, social structure refers to the comparatively stable and static elements of society. Actually, no element is permanently constant or stable or static. That's the reason I am telling you comparatively, not absolutely. You see, in this context, that is structure of Indian society, I would discuss rural agrarian society, means what are the villages, and what is the nature of economy in village, that is agricultural economy. In this context, I would also teach you what is caste system, how caste system was the main source of occupation in traditional India. Then here also I would discuss what are the different tribal peoples, tribal communities living in this country, what policies the Britishers have adopted in matter of improvement of tribal people in post-independence India, keeping in mind the development of tribal society, what policies have been adopted by government of India. Then in this context, that is social structure, second unit, I would also make a discussion related to social classes. Means, what is the economic condition of our people? Though the topic is a structure, here also I would discuss how the economic condition of the people is improving day by day. What are the different classes in our country? What are the classes in rural society? What are the classes in urban society? That will be discussed here. Apart from that, the next subunit of unit B is the system of kinship. In this context, I would basically discuss the different concepts related to our family, marriage and kinship system, how joint family was the dominant family in traditional India, and how during the British regime, because of introduction of industrialization, because of acceleration of the pace of urbanization, right now family system also started changing, and how in family the status of women is improving, how patriarchy is weakening day by day. All these things will be discussed in this context. Apart from that, the last subunit of a social structure is religion and society. As I told you earlier that Indian society is highly impregnated by religion, highly influenced by religion. What was the religious orientation of Indian society? How people of different religions were coexisting in India. Why in matter of religion our society is regarded as a truly pluralistic society. In post-independence India, what are the changes which are taking place in matter of religion? How the religious orientation of our people is gradually changing, and how what policies have been adopted in our constitution for protecting the religious rights of the religious minorities. What is secularism? How Indian model of secularism is different from Western approach of secularism. How a new process of change has taken place in matter of religion that is called religious revivalism. Apart from that, here also I would discuss communalism, fundamentalism. All these things will be discussed in this subunit. So in this way, paper 1 and paper 2, unit A and unit B of a paper 2, just I discussed the sketch. I just showed you the sketch of unit A and unit B of paper 2. Then come to unit C. Unit C is basically dealing with social changes in India. You see, during British regime, the floodgates of social change were opened in our country, but after attainment of independence, the pace of social change or pace of social transformation was accelerated in our country. So what are the changes that have taken place in our country? Where is lying the root of social change? In this context, I would discuss vision of social change. From where we get the vision of social change? You see, in post-independence India, we have adopted a new type of economic policy, economic system that is called mixed economy. What is mixed economy? What are the important features of mixed economy? To what extent mixed economy has helped our country's economic growth? What are the limitations of mixed economy? Why after 1991 emphasis was given upon privatization model? Why LPG policy, L for liberalization, P for privatization, G for globalization were introduced in our country, and what are the impact of privatization, liberalization, globalization? All these things will be discussed. Then we also get the vision of social change in our country from our constitution, because constitution is the source of all modern laws in our country. Constitution is having the vision how to eradicate caste system. Constitution has a vision how to decline patriarchy and how to bring equality between man and woman in our country. Apart from that, our modern educational system, it has the whole and sole objective how to promote an egalitarian society, how to create equality among people of different caste, different religion, different language. So, and what is the vision of technical education? What is the vision of medical education? What is the new education policy? What are its vision? All these things would be discussed in this context, that is vision of social change. Then the next subunit of unit C, that is rural agrarian transformation. What is that? You know, the very heart of India lives in villages. Real India lives in villages. This is Gandhi's view. So once Gandhiji said, if we think to bring any change, if we think to bring any transformation in Indian society, then first of all we have to bring changes in countryside. So change of our country is impossible without bringing change in our countrysides. So what is our rural society? What changes are taking place in rural society? How community development program CDP was introduced in 1952? What are its achievements? What are its loopholes? Apart from that, in this context, I would also discuss what is the meaning of rural cooperative society, with what objective rural cooperative society was introduced, to what extent rural societies, cooperative societies have become successful in the matter of reducing the role of the traditional moneylenders. Apart from that, you know, rural society is the stronghold of poverty, hunger, starvation, marginalization, deprivation. These are the catchwords of rural India. So, how poverty was persisting earlier, what measures have been adopted by Government of India in the matter of eradicating poverty in rural society, and what are the different approaches in the matter of eradication of poverty in rural society. All these things I will be discussing in this subunit, that is rural agrarian transformation in modern India.